By the way, the more I think about it, I get where the guy's coming from. He sees my dog, big dog, walking in, smelling, sometimes putting his chin on another dog's back as some part of his domination programming. He's got his tail up. He's got his hairs up. So this guy thinks that if he weren't on a leash, at any moment he would attack one of the other dogs. That's how, because whenever I go over there with a leash. Sometimes I have let him go then. Once I get a feel for the other dogs and whether he's going to be sort of sniffing another dog too much, and blah blah blah. Make sure there are no other non-castrated males that he might enter into a domination thing with, and then I'll let him go. But if I don't feel like I verified that, or if I just don't feel like hanging around, I keep him on a leash. And so the guy thinks, oh, of course he's dangerous. So you can understand how there would be mechanisms in his mind to lead to the conclusion of dangerous. Because except for the part of hurting another animal or attacking another animal, he shows all the signs of a dangerous dog. I mean, he's not growling, he's not barking, he's not snapping. So besides growling, barking, snapping, and biting, he is showing all the signs of a dangerous dog. And that's how the mind works, right? We don't take into consideration, wait a minute, those are like anticipatory conditions, but they are not actual literal indications of danger. But we evolved, of course, to not just see biting as dangerous, to not just see theft as dangerous, but to see someone going like this as dangerous. The thing is, if the human brain knew that about itself, then maybe when it hears another human brain go, he hasn't bitten or done anything, what are you talking about? And maybe the other human brain says, that those aren't just anticipatory, those are just like pre-signals, those aren't actual indications of signals of danger, those are signals, not actual events of danger. Those are things that we associate with danger, but then are not themselves harmful. And then that brain could be like, right, I'm a human brain, I would do that, and here I am, this woman's kind of pretty, so I'm like defending her or whatever. This reading of the conversation is not going to be fair because I'm going to read it wrong. I don't know how she wrote her messages, and she doesn't know how I wrote mine. I am going to be reading my messages the way that I wrote them, the same text, but the way that I wrote them. And I'm going to be reading her messages the way that I read them. So, all right. So, I get a message a few days ago, this past Friday. We're not going to do an accent, okay. Hey, I consider your suggestion seriously. However, I didn't write it down, and then it became blurry. If, condition, then, result, it. One trial, second trial, forgot what we call it. That's the PMAM thing. That's the entirety of our summary from over 2 hours of conversation, by the way. If that's what you remember, I'm not sure how seriously you could have taken it. But I believe you want to. All right, let me read that the way she read it. The way I would guess she read it. If that's what you remember, Not sure how seriously you could have taken it, but I believe you want to. I was serious at that time. I just went back and forth to the hospital and forgot some of them. So tell me about about your serious considerations. Because those aren't serious considerations. That's very good that she retained if condition then result. It, all caps, it, an acronym. That's cool. But she said, I consider your suggestion seriously. I consider your suggestion seriously. For me, I'm imagining, and you run out of material for uh-huhs with what was sent to me. So, okay, maybe you don't have a summary, but tell me about your serious conditions. So I say, so tell me about your serious conditions. She said, meet me to talk about it tomorrow. I said, tell me first, like we agreed. She said, I'll bring my solution, and I want you to remind me a little bit. There are several things we agreed on. One, if you criticize my writing, I will repeat what you criticize and say it's something. Forgot the exact term, but I remember it's kind of first trial. I will call it first trial hereafter. Two, if you praise my writing, I should accept it literally. Do not ignore appraisal. Three, if the first trial is not what we want, then I just need to accept there is a second trial. No need to perceive it as Eris criticized whole academic life. Not bad. What did I say? I didn't respond because if you criticize my writing, I will repeat what you criticize. You don't have to do that. There was a time when I said, as you saw in these videos, where I said, repeat the compliment. But of course she would remember it as repeat the criticism. Yeah, I know, right? And so that's, I didn't know how to really respond to that. And also I wanted to know more about what she had understood because, and then number 2 and number 3 are great, but I didn't, wait, maybe number 3 isn't great. If the first trial is not, oh yeah, I don't like that she remembered it as trial, first trial. Because there's this really important thing about PM, AM, where your PM, it isn't a trial. It is your action. And usually it's enough. And then sometimes you might want to add an AM. You might want to add something more. But it's not about, these are 2 different attempts. Or I guess, I don't know. So anyway, so that's what she sent me on a Friday evening at 5:30 p.m. Well, for my time, which would be late for her because she was actually in Korea. She then said at 5:45 a.m. So maybe the next morning. Or maybe she was in the U.S., in which case the other messages were in her morning, and then, are you not satisfied in her evening? I told her, I don't have an AM for number 2. So what that means is, your first trial was successful. Ugh, I don't want to think of it as trials, but what you wrote there, number 2, I have no second step. I have nothing to add. I have nothing that I think needs to be improved, or that could be improved, or whatever. Okay, I don't have an AM. That's why we try to just limit ourselves to these words, because they don't have the connotations, and we can have new connotations. So I don't have an AM for number 2. Her response is, AM is the first trial, right? And PM is the second trial. I said no, because I did a lot of talking. I need effort in talking from her now. So I say no. All you're supposed to say is, oh, okay, PM is the first trial and AM is the second trial. Then I'll say, okay, that's better, but I don't love the trial thing, but we can talk about that on the phone. But here's what happened instead. I said, I don't have an AM for number 2. She said, AM is the first trial, right? Right? AM is the first trial, right? And PM is the second trial. No. Hey, I forgot the exact term you wrote on the whiteboard. ... Then, what do you think? You want me to just give up? I sent her a sad face on that message. I said, this is what I'm talking about. She responded, you don't want me to try more, right? I sent her an angry face reply on that message. Yo, stop putting that on me. Stop acting like I'm not supportive and that I want to discourage you. That's you, not me. However, I still think only you can help revise my thoughts, especially logical parts. Other people can help. Maybe people you wouldn't say stuff like this to when they support you. Quoting her, then what do you think? You want me to just give up? And then in response to my saying other people can help, she goes, except for my advisors, it's hard to try building this kind of relationship. Because of funding condition, people are competitive, not that supportive to each other. I go, what are you talking about? There are people outside of your school that you don't need to be scared or trying to insult and discourage you. If I can't be one of those people, there are lots of great people on Amazing Talker, that's the website, that can help. Okay, I will. I'm like poison to people with confidence issues, and I don't like being poison. Don't need to explain anymore. Take care. I care about you. This doesn't have to be the last time we speak. Also, you are very strong. Sometimes with me, you have some confidence issues maybe. But in general, I think you know that you are awesome. And mistakes / errors / imperfections don't matter. So, we're getting so bloggy right now. And this is kind of scary. Because, like, who's watching this? I had to unlist a video, the prostitutes video, because it got like 65 views. And I was like, yo, why is that going viral? I don't see how I'm wrong. I don't see it. I am willing to, and it's not having a great effect on me. It's not making me happy that I had a little bit of income and have to turn it away. I feel guilty towards my parents. I'm sorry. My dad this summer was asking me to please increase my prices. Because I had just like 3 weeks before, and then because when I told him what I was making, he was like, "What? Increase your prices? You deserve more." And I was like, "That's so funny." Because 2 weeks ago, I put it at the absolute minimum. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? We have to still pay back your student loans because we made you try to do college. No, you guys were right to. No, you were not right to, Dad. You actually, and you admitted this, and this was cool. This was very nice of you. You said that you guys pushed me into college, and it was obvious a little bit earlier than the last time we signed up for a tuition payment that that wasn't going to be me. So. Maybe at the beginning of this video, you were feeling like I was a jerk. And just being a jerk to everyone and complaining about it. And maybe through some of the things that we've talked about, maybe now there are some it's going, oh, okay, so could be some misunderstandings, and Eris really is trying, and the other humans not sure that they are. Maybe Eris isn't as righteous as the other humans, maybe. You can see how uncomfortable considering that made me. Anyway, this kind of brought up some emotions because I miss her, even just as sort of a friend. And I really thought that she was special and that we were able to talk about things, like go back and forth without her. She was the strongest Asian I knew. And I know that's a terrible thing to say, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Now pretend like I didn't say it. And understand they don't actually believe, for instance, that Asians are weak or anything like that. But you know what I mean. She defied this stereotype or even the culture of acquiescence as an Asian woman. And that was really cool. And yeah. So that's less money in the bank, which is something I have to fucking be aware of. Because here's the thing. It's also possible that I'm right. Right? I mean, like, there is a possibility. We're not going to go down that road. Let's keep it semi-pluralistic. Well, here's what I can tell you. Whether or not I'm doing harm or not, they can have their truth, I can have mine. You know, maybe go in 3 weeks we'll say, actually, you were abusive. Actually, you tried to manipulate me because you are criticizing me, or well, I don't know, blah, blah. Look where I am, bro. That fucking dog came over to us, okay? We are staying as far from humans as we sort of can. Not really. Obviously, we could go drive into who knows where and just completely disconnect. You want me to give up, right? You don't want me to try anymore? Fuck, dude. I'm so... It's like a script. It is a script. It is a script, bro. Are you not satisfied? I don't have anything to correct about number 2. Well, I used AM, so she said, AM is boba. I say, no. Hey. And there was that hey. That killed me when I would hear that hey. Not actually, but as I think back to all the different heys. And they would always confuse me. Because, like, why are you going, hey? Like, I'm not attacking you right now. Like, so she goes, hey, I forgot the exact term you wrote on the whiteboard. The exact terms were AM and PM. You didn't forget the exact terms. Oh, I see. Oh, the terms after AM and PM, the definitions? Because you have first trial and second trial. Okay. Do you remember that I mentioned in one of these videos that the classes are recorded? You look at the video, you scroll to the end, and I'm holding up the whiteboard. I did it. Anyway, I think that we're just right that this world is not for me. My ideas, though, are for this world. So I need to put a whole bunch of them up on here. And then you have to let me stop hurting you. Please.